joining late, they marked as a late comer. Okay. Okay, last class, I've given one problem. Okay, so map is solved and put in WhatsApp group. Good. Okay. Any doubt in that problem? Anyone? Did you face any difficulty or any doubt? Okay, silence means I think everyone understand. Okay, and also see those who are properly solving what I am giving in the problem or any exercise. Okay, they will get some advantage surely in the marks or grade something surely. Okay, so other people may think whether we solve or not solve won't mind it, right? You may think, okay, no issue. Anyhow, definitely those who are regularly attending the classes, okay, and whatever the exercise given by me, okay, those who are solving that, okay, definitely will have a advantage in that marks and grade. Okay. Okay, we start today. Actually, last class we have discussed the electric flux density. Okay, and we derived the equation also. Okay, in that, how the Faraday did the experiment based on that, how the electric flux density. Okay, simply you just remember, you know the electric field intensity, that is denoted as E, force per unit positive test charge. Similarly, electric flux density, D, is actually defined as a sort of field lines flows from inside the sphere to outer sphere. Okay, that field line actually called as a flux, which is exactly equal to the charge of the in the sphere. That's what we discussed. Okay, and we know the relation between electric field intensity E vector and electric flux density. Both are same except the one quantity, that is the epsilon. Okay, the constant, dielectric constant. So D is equal to epsilon E. Actually, it's a vector. So D vector is equal to epsilon E vector. This is one of the important relationship you should remember always. Okay, D vector is equal to epsilon E vector. And based on that electric flux density have given on problem. Okay, some of you solved good. Okay. And we started basics of vectors. Okay, we continue that vectors today because you should know the cylindrical, Cartesian, and spherical coordinates and how to convert one from others. Okay, then only we can solve all those integral equation, all this derivation involves in electromagnetics. Yeah. Hope my screen is visible to everyone. Okay. Last class we have discussed some basics. Okay. Dot product, cross product. Okay. Dot product, just you know that A dot B is equal to magnitude of A, magnitude of B, cos theta A B. This bold letter involves actually a vector. Okay. Similarly, the cross product. A cross B vector, A vector plus B vector is equal to magnitude of A vector, magnitude of sine theta A B. Okay. So you can through this picture you can understand this angle. Okay, this is A vector. This is the B vector. This is A vector, B vector. So the angle between these two is actually theta. So the cross product of these two vector exactly equal to the magnitude of A vector, magnitude B vector, and the sine of the angle between these two. Okay, and also it's a direction inverse, so it's not actually a unit normal vector. This all I think clearly, right? And I think how to find actually A cross B vector. This is also called a curl operation, CURL. Okay, in the matrix form, you'll find that. Okay, now you just remember one thing clearly. When we go with cross product, the dot product, you know that. Okay, the dot product of same unit vector is 1. This is very important. You just remember this. Okay, I think I already know. Similarly, the dot product of different unit vectors. Okay, and also hereafter you use AX, AY, AZ. Don't use IJK. Okay, IJK is general form. Actually, in the school physics, you would have used that. Here, instead of IJK, we use AX vector, AY vector, AZ vector. Okay, here I don't repeat IJK. Okay, any of both are unit vectors, but here we use the generalized case as AX, AY, AZ. Okay, so follow the same. So I think you know this form. Dot product of same unit vector is 1, different unit vector is 0. Similarly, the cross product. AX vector actually cross product of same unit vector is 0. You know that. Okay. The different cross product involves what are the normal component into that? X, Y, then what is the normal actually? Z. Then Y Z, what is the remaining term? X, AX. AZ, AX, AY. Here you should be very clear that anyhow, when you make a cross product of AY, AZ, AX will come. Okay. But you should know whether it's AX or minus AX. Okay. AX or minus AX. Suppose AY vector cross AX vector, then what is the result? Anyone just unmute?
Minus AJ.
Minus AJ.
Yeah, very good. Minus AZ. Similarly, the opposite. AZ vector plus AY minus AX. Okay. So to know that, you just easily you can remember that AX, AY, AZ. Okay. If it's involve the clockwise direction, it's plus. Okay. If it involves a anti-clockwise direction, then minus. Clockwise means as you know that AX cross AY. Here see, you just put AX, AY, AZ in this order in this sequence, make it clockwise. So AX cross AY, AZ. AY cross AZ, AX. AZ cross AX as AY. If it's in opposite direction, it means instead of AX cross AY, suppose if it's AY cross AX, then minus AZ. Similarly, you can remember this.
Minus.
Okay. I think somebody has to tell something, right? Okay. So as xy is that as a parameter in Cartesian coordinate system. Similarly, the cylindrical coordinate system, the parameter is rho phi z. Rho is here. You know that the distance between this, if it's line charge or something, okay, this point to where you are going to measure a field or something. Simply, you can remember that radius of the cylinder. If you take a cylindrical coordinate system, the radius of the cylinder is actually rho. Okay. The range of this rho is 0 to infinity. Then the angle phi. Phi is actually, this is the point where you are going to measure a field due to the line charge or something is present over here. Okay. So when you make a normal line to this bottom circle of the cylinder, okay, then make a straight line up to this to the origin. then you can get the angle between this x-axis as well as this line, right? That is actually called phi. So phi varies from 0 to 2 pi. This is the range of phi. Then Z is simply height of the cylinder. You can easily remember height of the cylinder. That lies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, this is actually cylindrical coordinate system. You can easily understand that why we should go for a cylindrical coordinate system. Suppose we have a line charge. Okay, if you use some Cartesian coordinate system, whether you may fix the axis origin here or here. Okay, it is not much suitable to solve the problem using a Cartesian coordinate system. Suppose when you use a cylindrical coordinate system, very simple. This is a line charge. Okay, so you may have, suppose this is a line charge, you are going to measure a point over here. This is a point where you are going to measure a field due to this line charge. Then simply you may have the cylindrical coordinate system. Then you can easily solve the this problem based on coordinate system. That's what this coordinate system involves. So based on the scenario, we can use Cartesian, cylindrical, or spherical coordinate system. Now you remember rho phi z are a parameter of cylindrical coordinate system. Rho is the radius of the cylinder. Z is the height of the cylinder. Phi is the angle between the line which is drawn directly the point where you are going to measure a field to the bottom line and which is extended up to the origin. Okay. So how do we represent the vector in cylindrical coordinate system? You know, uh, ijk basic. In Cartesian, we use ax, ay, az. Similarly, in cylindrical coordinate system, a rho, a phi, a z. This is the magnitude, this is the vector. So a rho, capital A rho, and the unit vector a rho vector, similarly a phi, a z. Okay, the magnitude is, you know that. It's all basic, and yeah. You just similarly ax cross ay, az cross az. No, the cylindrical coordinate system. Rho cross phi is z, phi cross z is rho, z cross phi is rho. Similarly, the dot product. Again, dot product won't change. The dot product of same unit vector is 1, different unit vector is 0. Like, whichever the coordinates may be. Okay. Now, this is very important. You just come here. Most of the application lies this concept. Okay. Differential volume in cylindrical coordinate system. You just imagine in a free space. Okay. In that you fix a one coordinate system x, y, z. Okay, you have some cube like this, some volume surface. Okay, now how do we solve to find a volume or to solve the field or something? Okay, we use the differential volume as rho d phi dz. How it come? You just listen. This is actually d rho. Okay, this is d z. Okay, this is actually rho d phi. Look it clearly. When you apply a cylindrical coordinate system, when you apply a cylindrical coordinate system, something. Okay. Now, you know that radius of the cylinder is rho. Okay. When you draw the line and make an angle, that becomes actually a phi. Similarly, you know that height of the cylinder is z. Now, you just see. We have this point. No. Okay. Suppose to find a angle phi. Okay, you may take this line this point, this line, and extend up to the origin, that you can make phi. Okay, and also this also involve, no, this is not a single point. This is not a single point, so that you can get the angle and draw everything. This is some differential volume. So we should include this point also. So it means the angle phi is a angle between this x-axis as well as this point, or this point maybe, or in between, or maybe this last end. That's what we are using, that the angle. This is actually a phi with, okay, up to this there will be some incremental value, up to this some incremental value. That's what we indicated as phi plus d phi up to this. So the phi angle is a angle between this, okay, x-axis as well as this line. Okay, so the angle might be up to this line, and so as its volume. So that's to indicate that phi plus d phi. Similarly, the radius of the cylinder up to this is the radius of cylinder. No, you just involve this cylindrical coordinate system. You just make a bigger cylinder over here. Okay, so this is the radius of the cylinder. The radius may be up to this point or this point. So that's what we use. This is actually a rho. This is actually rho plus d rho. Okay. So d rho dz rho into d phi. So the differential volume dV can be denoted as rho d phi dz. You just you should remember this equation when we solve in a cylindrical coordinate system. Find out a differential volume. Okay. The transformation, so rho is equal to root of x square plus y square. Phi is equal to tan inverse of phi by x. Z equal to z. Okay, this is the transformation from Cartesian coordinate to cylindrical coordinate system. You know the parameter x, y, z from Cartesian. Suppose you want to convert that into cylindrical, you have to go with the parameter rho phi z. No, this is the relationship. Similarly, the reverse case. You know that cylindrical coordinate system, rho phi and z. How to find a Cartesian coordinate system? X, y, z. Equal to rho cos phi, rho sin phi, rho sin z. Okay, so this is actually a basic transformation from Cartesian coordinates to cylindrical. Don't confuse with Cartesian and rectangle, both are same. Cartesian coordinates as well as the rectangular coordinates, both are same. Okay, I think this formula, how to arrive, you know clearly, right? Basics is simply you just see here. This is actually uh, x, y, z. We have a part of cylinder. Just to understand this part of cylinder, you know that angle phi is the height of the cylinder. Rho is a radius of the cylinder. Only a part of cylinder is just cut over here. Okay. Now what is rho? Okay. This is actually a x. This is actually a y. So square root of x square plus y square. Okay. Similarly, phi. Phi is the angle of tan inverse of y by x. Okay. Is that simply the height? Okay, which is equal to is that as it's got in north such coordinates. Okay. Similarly, the x. X is actually a rho cos phi. Similarly, y. Y is rho sin phi. Is that equal to z? Now you just remember the formula. You just know you should use this formula. Similarly, the dot products of unit vectors in the cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, ax dot a rho is cos phi. Ay dot a rho, because it's somewhat different when compared to the same coordinate system with different coordinate system. Okay, so ay dot a rho is a sin phi. Az dot a rho is 0. Similarly, this is a dot product table. This is a transformation. I think. Yeah.
Unit vector along some angle means, how is that said? Like I don't understand what is A5. What is it?
Here.
Vector means it will be in particular direction, no, sir. So vector
Yes.
of angle means how is that, sir?
Actually, this is not. Yeah, this is not actually indicates the angle. Okay. See, we have a x, y, z coordinate system. No,
Yes, sir.
x, y, z. So due to suppose we have some line charge over here. Okay. Due to line charge, there may be some x component present. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Some y component present. That will be used some value to indicate that that is ay vector. Okay. Similarly, some value in the z also there. Okay. Actually, any of that along the z axis 0. Just now, just to understand the concept. Some if is some z component that we represent some value vector something value into a z vector. It means this is the component along the x-axis. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is the component along y-axis. This is the component along z-axis due to the line charge or something. Similarly, when you go with the cylindrical coordinate system, okay, suppose you, yeah, you just consider a cylindrical coordinate system. In that, you have some charge over here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Due to that, you may have some component along this row parameter. Okay, some component along this phi component, some value along the z component, sorry, z direction. To indicate that we use this is the value or the magnitude something present along a row. This is actually a row component. Similarly, we have another value something that is present along a phi component, something z component.
Sir, there
Here,
can never be an like electric field which is only along that angle component, no, sir.
yes,
So like I don't understand how do we physically think about something being in a direction of an angle. Like okay, I can ask like this, sir. Sir, how is uh, this dot product between this angle unit vector and row unit vector?
no,
How
this is
is
not
that?
the angle actually. I think you don't understand it clearly. This is not dot product between angle. This is actually ax vector
Sir, not
dot
this one, sir.
arrow.
Before we did, sir. Dot product between A row and A5. Ah, this
This
one,
one.
sir. How do we say the angle below that, sir? A row, A5. Uh, angle between these two is 90 degree. How is that, sir? A row
I could
is
not
a
understand the question actually.
sir. A row is a vector along the radius, sir.
Yes.
What does it mean to have a vector along an angle?
No, this is not actually the angle. This is
Ah,
one of the parameter in a cylindrical coordinate system. That parameters unit vectors only represented as this a5 vector.
yes, sir. So, like, according to this, angle between A row and A5 is 90 degree, no, sir? Cos 90 will come, so it will become 0.
You are using this, right? We cannot. You are saying about the formula, A dot B formula.
Ah, yes, sir. That cos theta will become 90. Sir,
See
cos
how you are
90
saying. How you are saying it's 90 actually.
because it's 0, sir, the dot product. Like, magnitude of both the vectors can't be 0, so the angle should be, cos should be 0. So like we know the angle between those two vectors is 90 degree, but what is the, what does it mean? What is the meaning of it? Like a vector along an angle.
See, I don't know. I could not understand your question clearly, but I answer. I think I don't know whether you may get or not. Just see, uh, this is actually a
It's actually more like a maths kind of
okay.
question.
This is actually height of the cylinder. Okay.
Yes,
Hmm?
sir.
This is the point where we are going to measure some field or something. You take
Yes,
this
sir.
as point P. Okay. So we use the cylindrical coordinate system at the point like this. Okay. So the distance between this z axis and the point where you're going to measure the field is actually rho. That is simply we take as a radius of the cylinder.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now exactly actually as this picture concerned, this is the point. Okay. This is the point where we are going to measure the field. So this is the rho radius of cylinder. Anyhow, the radius won't change, right? Okay. Rho. Now, what is the angle? Exactly that normal line which goes with this. This is the angle phi,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay. Now, what is the angle between this rho and phi? This, sorry, this z axis and phi, this line. Phi means don't confuse with the angle. This line. This is z axis, right? This is a line which is down to the point to that origin, right? What is this angle? This 90, right? Are you there?
Sir, I got disconnected, sir, in middle. Sorry, sir. Sir,
Okay,
when you
okay.
said, uh, when you were explaining that point P,
Okay,
how you,
okay. I just give some idea. See, uh, you are thinking that how there will be an direction in the angle. That
yes,
is your
sir.
question, right? Okay. You,
Uh,
you just think in another way. Okay. It means what is actually the angle phi? Phi is the angle between this x-axis. Phi is the angle between the x-axis and the point something P
yes, sir.
where we are going to measure something. Okay. If it's a differential volume, it involves from this to this. This may be this point or this point, this point. Okay. So phi is a angle between the x-axis and the line which is drawn from the field measuring point or some volume to that axis. So we use phi plus d phi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is the one of the parameter in a cylindrical coordinate system.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the vector actually each parameter has its own unit vector like a coordinate code system x y z here rho phi and z.
Hmm.
Okay. Sometime the point may be here. Sometimes the point may be here. Sometimes the point may be here. So angle will be different for all the points.
Yes, sir.
Will not be the same for everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this component unit vector only we represented as a phi vector. Actually,
Which component, sir?
what is unit vector? Then you can get some idea. I think
Magnitude will be 1, sir.
magnitude will be 1.
1.
What is the purpose of unit vector?
To see only the direction Ignore the magnitude.
Yeah. Same thing here. You just imagine in a free space, three-dimensional view. Okay. The component may be along the radius of the cylinder into the row. Okay. Similarly, the component may be the along the axis. Sorry, along the angle phi. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, the component may be along the height z. In your Cartesian, you use simply x, y, and z. Okay, so you can represent the component as along this x-axis, along this y-axis, along this z-axis. Similarly, in your cylindrical coordinate system, how do you represent the components or element? Along its the radius rho, or along the angle phi, or along the height z. Okay, so all those three component involves to represent the whole value due to any charge or difference in volume, anything. Okay.
Yes.
Here, to represent that value or component due to that angle phi, okay, we should have a unit vector. Then only we can able to represent it, the whole
Yes, sir.
component. Okay, that's what this unit vector involved. Any of I could not understand your question properly. I
Yes,
don't
sir.
know
But
whether
I
you
got
got
an
the
idea,
answer.
sir.
Okay. You just ask clearly in the group also. I will try to answer. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is actually a dot product of the different coordinate system. Like here, cylindrical and rectangular. As I mentioned, don't confuse with that. Rectangular and Cartesian become the same. Okay. So now you know that the spherical coordinate system, the parameters involves in a spherical coordinate system actually are theta phi. Otherwise, in our textbook they may represent rho theta phi. So here r, that is simply a radius of the sphere. Okay, theta is actually a uh, okay. I just use any other graph. Yeah, you see, you consider a sphere. You consider a sphere. This is actually two-dimensional view. Imagine three-dimensional. This is the radius of the sphere R. So now take any one point where we are going to measure a field. Okay. So this is the point. Now, as for the cylindrical coordinate concern, what do? You draw a straight line over here and extend this line up to this. Then angle between this x and this is actually phi. Same thing involves here. Okay, take as its spherical coordinate system. Okay, we have to take this point and draw a line over here, which is actually like a sphere. Okay, you just imagine that some football something. Okay, you want to draw the line like this from this point to up to the origin. Okay, we have one line, right? So the angle between this x-axis and this actually a phi component. What is theta? Theta is directly the line which is drawn origin to the point where you are going to measure a field. Okay, then the axis, that is the height of the cylinder. You know, here the center. You just imagine in a spherical coordinate system, we have a center points along the axis. Okay, that is actually z. That angle is actually a theta. Okay, so the range of r lies from 0 to infinity, theta from 0 to phi. The angle phi actually involves a 0 to 2 pi. Okay, this is the range of a spherical coordinate system. Here one may have the doubt that how the theta will be 0 to phi, because phi involves actually 360-degree around this. Okay, but theta become only 180 because suppose if the point is over here something, then you draw a line, the angle become like this. Okay, so total possible angle is simply a 0 to 180 in a angle theta. The phi is actually 0 to 2 pi. Okay, because you could not go with the angle like this for phi. Okay, so as we know that phi is here, the angle between the x-axis and the line over the point where you going to measure your field. You just remember the parameters known as spherical coordinate system r, theta, and phi. Similarly, we use that vector. Okay, unit vector in a spherical coordinate system, ar vector. Okay, a phi vector, a theta vector. We use. Uh, Actually, see how do we? Why do we go for this? Everything is to represent the component, all the component present. Okay, due to the point charge or line charge or any volume or something. Okay, exactly we locate that position. We should have these parameters like x, y, z, r, theta, phi. Similarly, rho, phi, z. See, suppose imagine in a x, y, z coordinate system. In free space, you are locating one point. Okay, you are taking one is a reference point. One is a reference point. Sorry, reference, that is origin. Okay, so you imagine in a three-dimensional view. So this point is something distance along x-axis, something distance from y-axis, something from z-axis. Then you can get some point, right? You can locate exactly that position based on x, y, z. Similarly, okay, if you use a cylindrical coordinate system, so you can fix that point. Okay, this is the some z height, some z height from the origin. Okay, some distance or radius from the z axis. Okay, and also with some angle between the x axis and the line, then you can get exactly that position using this rho, angle phi, and z. Similarly, in a spherical coordinate system, if you want to fix something, okay, so this is actually some distance r from the center, that is actually a radius. Okay, some angle that is between this z axis and the line which is drawn from the origin to the point. Okay, and also the angle of from x axis to the line which is drawn from here up to this angle. So with this radius, with this angle theta, with this angle phi, you can easily locate that point in a spherical coordinate system. That's what we go for different coordinate system, but based on applications. Again, mm, the dot product of this spherical coordinate system, ar, a theta, a phi is 1. Similarly, the cross product. Here again the conversion. Okay, conversion from Cartesian to spherical. R is equal to this formula. It has phi. Okay. Similarly, the conversion from spherical coordinate system to Cartesian coordinate system. Okay. Yeah. Now let's imagine one sphere. Okay, sphere. You just imagine one sphere in the outer layer. You just make a xyz axis. You fix the center of the sphere as a origin. You make 3 xyz coordinate system. Okay. In the outer layer of the sphere, if you want to represent any one region or one point, okay, suppose one region, if you want represent one region, if you consider this spherical coordinate system, easily you can keep or point that region exactly with these parameters r, theta, and phi. Because in some region you cannot get fixed value. If it's make an angle theta, so the theta varies from that region, maybe from rightmost to leftmost. Similarly, the phi angle. In that scenario, just imagine in that scenario, if these parameters theta, phi, r, if it involves, then you can easily understand that scenario. Okay. Similarly, the differential volume in spherical coordinate system. Consider this is a differential volume. Okay. Again, this is the radius of the sphere r. Okay. Here it's actually a r d theta. This is actually r sine theta d phi. So dv, differential volume element, involves actually r square sine theta dr d theta d phi. Okay. This is very basics. I think hope you know that. Okay. To represent, simply you use dx, dy, dz in a Cartesian coordinate system. Okay. In spherical coordinate system, r square sine theta dr d theta d phi. Similarly, in a cylindrical coordinate system, we use rho d rho d phi dz. Okay. Yeah, these are all. When you go with our application, you can understand that. See, as just before I explained, you just see this differential element. Okay, you just imagine this is some region. Okay, some differential element is there. Suppose if you apply a Cartesian coordinate system, you cannot get it exactly, because in Cartesian coordinate system you may have some range at x-axis, some y-axis, some z-axis. Okay, so you may have some value, some point over here, some this point at this point, this point, every point you can represent in a everyone very careful here. Then only you can understand this applications clearly. Different coordinate system. See, you can locate or point one fixed value through this xyz axis. Suppose 2, 3, 5. It means along x-axis it has a 2 unit, along y-axis it has a 3 unit, along z-axis it is 5 unit. So in that you can fix one point. Now, if it's not a single point or something, it's some volume region like this, some differential element like this is there. Okay, it has some y-axis, something in this direction, something like this. This three-dimensional, you just use this volume is there. Okay, now you consider a spherical coordinate system. Even in a cylindrical coordinate system, else also it cannot be represented exactly. It can be okay. Use the exactly to solve this kind of problem in your cylindrical coordinate system. If just use a cylindrical, spherical coordinate system, this is a volume element. So you can have the radius of the sphere. It means r. So from center point to up to this point, okay, that is actually r. Now you may have confusion. R is will not be changed everywhere. Okay, so there is no problem with the r. Now up this point I have to represent this point, this point, this point up to all this element. Now we just use this angle theta. Very simple. So the angle between this z-axis and this value is theta. Similarly, theta varies along up to this end point. So through this angle, we can easily represent this entire region. But with this r and theta, we could not represent exactly that position. Okay, then the angle phi involves as its x-axis involves. Okay, the angle between this x-axis and the line here. See, this is also the angle phi, the rightmost region. This is also angle phi up to when you consider this. So we use this entire thing as phi plus some differential value phi d phi. So this is what we were going for, this spherical coordinate system. Then you know the three different integral. Okay, line integral, surface integral, volume integral. If you have say simply line kind of applications, okay, we use simply line integral to integrate over that. If you have a surface, we have surface integral. If you want to integrate a volume, we use a volume integral. You know that the line integral simply a dot dl vector. Okay, so a to b. So this is one line, this is another line. When you integrate these two line, okay, then we get the line integral value. Similarly, some surface, we have some surface. Okay, for that we have to go with the surface integral. Psi is equal to a vector, that is the a vector dot ds vector. This dx vector only, you know that, okay, dx dy, dy dz, dx dy, that normal component. Similarly, the volume integral. Okay, volume integral, if some volume is there, okay, then to integrate that we use actually a volume integral, that is dv. Okay, then one more operator, actually del operator. You know, when you use divergence del dot some vector, a vector maybe. Okay, then curl del cross a vector. Okay, curl operation, divergence, curl operation. We use a del. Okay, term. Del is one of the operator, like addition, subtraction, multiplication is one of the operator. This actually dou by dou x of ax vector, dou by dou y of ay vector, dou by dou s of az vector. This is for a Cartesian coordinate system. Similarly, we have formula for a cylindrical coordinate system. Instead of ax, ay, az, we use a rho, a phi, az. Similarly, in a spherical coordinate system, we use r theta phi. This is a formula. Okay, already arrived. So when you solve or find out divergence or curl in a spherical coordinate system, we use this formula. Similarly, cylindrical coordinate system. This is actually del operator. Then, you know, like divergence and curl, we have a gradient, right? Direct product of any vector. Okay, direct product of this del operation with b. Okay, actually v is a scalar. We should be a scalar for to find out a gradient. Okay, same formula for like this del we use for a gradient. So you should know these three operation: gradient, divergence, curl. In all these three coordinates: rectangular, cylindrical, spherical. Okay, rectangular also called Cartesian. As I already explained, this is divergence del dot A. Okay, then Gauss divergence theorem. I think three theorem involves here actually: Gauss divergence theorem, then Stokes theorem, Green's theorem. Already in vector analysis, okay, we may studied this, right? Gauss divergence theorem. Simply the total outward flux of a vector field A vector through a closed surface same as the volume integral of divergence of A vector. That is A dot ds is equal to del dot A into dv. This del dot A involves actually a divergence. Okay, divergence of this A vector. So this is actually a Gauss divergence theorem. Similarly, I think curl, you know that, right? Stokes theorem. So the circulation of vector field A vector, circulation of the vector field A vector around a closed path. This is a line actually around a closed path. L is equal to the surface integral of curl of this A vector. Okay, the surface bounded. Okay, is actually called Stokes theorem. So the line integral of this A vector is equal to the curl of this A vector with a surface integral, which is actually called Stokes theorem. Then Green's theorem, I think that there won't be much used in our electromagnetics. Okay. So,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, we have class at 10 o'clock, sir.
Okay. I actually, who is class 10 o'clock?
Malaya, sir.
So, as per timetable, it's my class, right?
Sir, as you are taking from 9 to 10, we are giving that, sir, that period, sir. Actually, sir's period is from 9 to 10 every Monday.
Oh, okay.
So that's why sir is taking at 10 o'clock, sir.
Okay. Okay, I will discuss with you people whether we will fix any one fixed timetable. Okay, actually, any of
Okay, sir.
Tuesday we have class 12 to 1, right? Tuesday or Friday? Tuesday, tomorrow. Okay. Okay, I will discuss with this. Okay, anyhow, these are the basics of vector. We end the class now. Okay. Do anyone ready to take seminar some application of Gauss law tomorrow? Maybe 20
Sir, we
minutes.
already took a seminar on applications of Gauss law, sir.
Oh, already took who?
Yes, sir.
Already you have explained, or you have to
Sir,
take?
we took a seminar on Gauss law, sir.
Sir, this vector Gauss law, no, sir.
Yeah, vector Gauss law only.
They did on that electric.
State Gauss law.
Application also, some like differential volume and some symmetrical charge distribution, something. Any applications?
Sir, we
You
did for
guys didn't do that.
sphere, infinite plate and infinite where those things we did, sir.
Okay. Then
Sir, this Gauss law is something else, no, sir.
this is Gauss divergence theorem actually.
Oh, you are asking that only, sir.
No, I am asking Gauss law, that is in our electromagnetics.
Oh, okay. They did,
That
sir.
one we did, sir.
Okay. Anyhow, whatever I took class today, it's the basics. Okay, basics of vectors. To understand that problems and derivation involved in electromagnetics, this you should know that. Okay. Anyhow, actually, usually I finish 9:50. Today I thought maybe 10 o'clock it's our class, so you are free. Okay, then you attend the next class. Yeah, thank you.